Picture this. A man stands on a beach under a blazing sun. He had just buried his mother, but he doesn't cry. He shoots a man in a moment of blinding light, not out of rage but because the sun was too bright. His trial isn't really about the murder, it's about why he didn't cry at his mother's funeral. This is Meursault, the protagonist of Albert Camus' The Stranger. And here's the crazy thing, deep down, we're all Meursault. He's a mirror, a reflection of something deep within all of us. So let me ask you, are you the stranger too? Meursault indifference is our reality. Meursault isn't your typical hero or anti-hero. He's just there. He doesn't lie about his feelings. He simply doesn't have any grand feelings. His lack of tears for his mother scandalizes people. But here's the truth. Aren't we all sometimes disconnected from the roles society expects us to play? Think about it. How many times have you smiled when you didn't feel like it, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, or nodded along when you didn't care? Camus called this the absurd, the tension between wanting life to make sense and then realizing it doesn't. Meursault, unlike most of us, refuses to fake it. That's why he feels alien. But maybe he's just being honest in a world that demands constant performance. Life is absurd and so are we. Here's the kicker. Meursault's indifference isn't because he is a bad person. It's because he realizes something that most of us avoid. Life has no inherent meaning. We're all searching for purpose, for signs, for some deeper reason why things happen. But Camus argued that life isn't a puzzle to solve. It's chaos. Sounds depressing? No, it's actually liberating. When you stop looking for some cosmic script to follow, you realize you are free to write your own. That's what Meursault does. He embraces the absurdity. And whether we admit it or not, we have all felt that absurdity. Maybe it was in the monotony of your 9 to 5 work, the emptiness after achieving a long sought goal, or the moment you wondered, what's the point? Society's judgment versus personal freedom. One of the most powerful parts of The Stranger is Meursault's trial. He's judged not for the murder, but for his refusal to play along with society's expectations. Why did you cry for your mother? Why did you pretend to care? Society wants Meursault to fit into a box, to act out the role of a grieving son and a repentant criminal. But he won't. And that refusal makes him dangerous. Isn't this the struggle we all face? We live in a world obsessed with appearances, what we post on social media, how we present ourselves to others. But how much of that is real? How much of it is just us performing to avoid being judged? Meursault's rebellion is refusing to perform. He is the person who says, I don't care if you don't like it. This is who I am. The sun, the sea, and the final awakening. And then there's the sun. Oh, the sun. It's practically a character in the novel. It blinds Meursault, overwhelms him, drives him to pull the trigger. The sun represents the oppressive, inescapable force of existence itself, the relentless absurdity of life. But in the end, Meursault doesn't fight it. As he faces death, he has an epiphany. Life doesn't need a grand meaning to be worth living. It's enough to exist, to feel the sun on your skin, to hear the waves crashing on the shore. He accepts the absurd, embraces it, and finds peace. How many of us are chasing happiness as if it's some distant prize, instead of realizing it's right here, in the small, fleeting moments we often overlook? Camus reminds us life is absurd, but that doesn't make it any less beautiful. The stranger in all of us. At the end of the novel, as Meursault faces his death, he feels a strange peace. He accepts the absurdity of life and the indifference of the universe. I open myself to the gentle indifference of the world, he says. And that's where the real question lies. Are we all strangers, lost in the chaos of life, trying to play roles that doesn't fit us? Or can we, like Meursault, stop pretending and embrace life for what it is? Messy, random, fleeting, but undeniably real. So, I'll leave you with this. Next time you feel disconnected, next time you wonder, what's the point of it all? Ask yourself, am I the stranger too? And if I am, what does it mean to truly live? Life may not have meaning, and maybe that's the beauty of it. Maybe the freedom to create our own meaning is what makes us human. And maybe, just maybe, embracing that freedom is what it means to stop being the stranger and start being yourself.